Speaking of someone that I think would win a celebrity home run tournament, let's bring in our guy, Brian Baldinger.
He has Dinger in his name.
Yeah, wow. Exactly. Baldy, could you hit one 400 feet?
I think that's a little far. I've swung a bat in some major league parks. 400 feet feels like dead center to me. I'm like 311 down, left field line. Like maybe 311, I can sneak it over the fence. 400 seems like that's a moonshot right there.
Yeah, you're being modest. I think you got 450 in you. And Baldy, we're talking about Bo Nix taking that step from year 1 to year 2. From an outside perspective, what should realistic expectations be for Bo? Is it fair to expect a big jump, or should be a little worried about a sophomore slump?
I don't think there's a sophomore slump coming. I mean, I think the slump happened, when he was named a starter and struggled, the first month of the season and just gradually got better and better into the playoffs. I mean, 5th play of the playoff game in Buffalo, he's throwing one over the heads of Buffalo to Troy Franklin for, 45-yard touchdown pass, whatever it was. I don't see a slump. I mean, I know that's a popular thing to kind of think, but I think that this team is being built pretty good around him. He's got a running back. He's got a good offensive line. He's got some young receivers that are now in their second year. I see this thing, and he's got a very good defense. I see this thing kind of just beginning and starting to mushroom. I don't know. I can't put a number on it, whether it's, 30 touchdown passes or whatever it might be. But I expect him to be very, very competitive throughout the year in all 17 games this year.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of in that same boat where if you just take second half of last season Bo Nix and get 2 halves of the season this year, that should be a pretty significant statistical jump, you would think. But I'm curious, what goes into a hot start? I mean, it's tough for the Broncos because we just haven't seen a hot start from them in so many years. Is it as simple as saying, like, for the first time they have continuity in a play caller and quarterback since Peyton Manning was in town? Does that just mean that it should come naturally and we should just expect week 1, hey, there they are. Those are the Broncos we saw week 14 last year?
Every year is a new year. You can't really look at anything that happened last year, shootout against Cleveland, whatever it was. Like, you can't really look at that stuff and say that's going to happen this year. We're going to, every year is a new year. You always have to start from scratch. But I would say that the first time to actually have continuity, the head coach, the play caller, the quarterback, the defensive coordinator. I mean, feels like it's been a decade since they last had that type of continuity at those key positions on this group. Like I mean, look, I don't know what a hot start is. Nobody wants to be 1 and 2, but sometimes, and I've been saying it for years now, sometimes September now is the new August. And, you're not getting your number ones out there in August in these preseason games, getting a lot of timing. You're probably not scrimmaging a whole bunch. I don't know what Sean has planned right now, but my guess is everybody's sort of feeling themselves out to start the season right now. If you get a win, you get a win. But honestly, September 7th, are you ready? Are you going to be at full speed? You're going to be clicking right away. If you do, that's a bonus to me. I feel like you almost make your mistakes. You figure out how to play 60 minutes. You do some of that stuff in the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season and just kind of fix what's not working real well to start the year.
You kind of mentioned continuity there, and it's something we were just talking about earlier, but I want to hear your opinion on it. It's sort of like a compounding interest effect when it comes to keeping a quarterback and a play caller together, keeping a quarterback and a wide receiver together, like every year that you build on that?
I think so. I was just watching, one of those football lives or something, before there was free agency where you kind of knew what, when I started playing with the Cowboys, we kind of knew what, the Giants were. We knew all their players. There wasn't a big, be a turnover of 1 or 2 players, but we kind of knew what they did. And it was, you go to training camp and you didn't even think about the Giants or the Redskins. You just thought about how we're going to make our slant series better this year than it was last year. And I think that's kind of the mentality. Like, let's just work on the things that we do. Let's expand the playbook the way we feel like we're comfortable doing with some pieces, whether it's Devon Villay or Marvin Mims or, whether it's Troy Franklin. I mean, just the guys that are in their second year now in this system. Like, let's figure out how we're going to expand the playbook and perfect the playbook. And whether that's getting out of a bad play, getting into a good play, pre-snap reads, just being crisper about everything that they're doing right now. They don't have to be told everything right now from an offensive standpoint. Same thing on defense. Like they played Buffalo tough. The one play that got away from him was that one to Ty Johnson. Like, it was just a freak play. Like, he's running out of the backfield and PJ's right there. And, they made a play in a playoff game that kind of blew it open. But, they should improve upon everything they did a year ago with that continuity, knowing that this is our base defense. This is what we do in nickel. This is our changeup. This is what we do in short yardage. Like, those kind of things should be in place right now. And you take them for granted. You're going to work on them. But you should know those things and those change-ups right now based on what the defense or offense is doing to you.
Baldy, offensive linemen are finally going to get the recognition they deserve with the Protector Award. I have to imagine no one's happier about that than you, and no one knows more about it than you as well. And so I want to ask you, from a Broncos standpoint, do you think Quinn Meinerz has a legitimate chance to win this in the next 5 years in his career? Because is he that good of an offensive lineman?
I feel he's really good. My gut tells me, I know Deion Dawkins was heavily behind it. My gut tells me that it's going to go to a tackle, just because they protect the edges. They're going up against the elite pass rushers. I feel like it's going to go to a tackle. Now, could Quinn Meinerz win it? Yeah, I think he can. Can Garrett Bowles win it? I believe he can. Could Luke Wattenberg, who was an excellent pass protector a year ago, but if he gets better in the run blocking game and maybe goes through the season with fewer penalties, could Luke win it? I feel like a center has a better chance and a tackle has a better chance than an offensive guard right now.
Jason, I think the centers have Jason Kelce to thank for that.
Yeah, big time.
He helped the brand really well.
No question.
Yeah. I'm curious what you think of the offensive line as a whole, because PFF puts out their rankings, and they just got through the tackles this morning with Garrett Bowles being the number 11 tackle in the NFL. And to me, I think that makes some sense, right? Like, especially combining left and right. It just feels like I'm so used to seeing these sorts of lists and thinking like, wow, you kind of underrated the Bronco again. And maybe that's how every fan feels. But is that where he is at this point in his career? Because it's been kind of up and down. But 11, just nice, easy, clean, just outside top 10.
Well, the fact that we're even talking about Garrett Bowles is a good sign.
Yeah.
Because honestly, we never talked about him. Because there was just such change in Denver. Coaches, offensive linemen, systems, and so now I think people know who their five are. They played well together last year. I'm not against PFF. Like, they have their system, they have their thing. But I don't put all of my stock in PFF. They had a rookie quarterback last year. Should that mean something versus Jalen Hurts in his 6th year in Philadelphia? Like, I think that means something. You're breaking in a rookie quarterback, no experience, all right, couldn't complete a pass to wide receiver the first 2 weeks last year. Like, that's, he doesn't know what he's looking at to start the season. Now, he obviously improved a great deal, and he played all 17 games, but I think your quarterback has a little bit to do with it. You're playing a bunch of rookie receivers last year. You don't really have a great tight end. Like, that probably reflects in offensive line rankings right now. It's probably easier to put Detroit and Philadelphia up there because of the talent that was around them. But, look, I think it's a good group. I think they play well together. I think they're well coached. I'd look for them to be climbing into that top 5 offensive line. If they stay healthy again this year, like, I like Mike McGlinchey. I know how smart he is. I know he gets kind of the bad rap, sometimes when he gets beat. But one thing I know about Mike is if he gets beat, he doesn't go in the tank. He's not going in the tank on you. He's not going to, make a bad play and turn it into another bad play. Like, I like the 5 that are up there, and I'd like to see them the second year climb into that top 5 offense line. I think, Harvey at running back this year is going to make a difference. Like, I think this kid is a good back. Sometimes, you need a great back to make your offensive line even better. You know, to when you miss a block, you don't block things, you know, the way it's supposed to be blocked on Wednesday in your walkthrough, that he can rescue, you know, the lack of execution up front. That's what the great backs do.
We talked so much today and yesterday about, you know, the continuity and all of the advantages that Bo has now having all this extra time. And the thing that I've been thinking about is how much more impressive it makes it what Bo and Sean were able to accomplish last year without any of that, and additionally, no running game.
Oh, I mean, it's unreal. It speaks volume to be in the playoffs, you know, to accomplish what they accomplished last year was truly what, I mean, the difference in this whole business is coaching. And, you know, Sean's one of the great coaches. I mean, whether it's his offense, instilling toughness, you know, how to practice. Like, I've been around him so much for so long. I mean, even when he was in Philadelphia here, like, you just knew, and what he got from Parcells along the way, like, there's very few coaches that could have done. I mean, Harbaugh did the same thing with the Chargers. I mean, that's why you go chase after these guys, because there's never enough good head coaches, and why there's always a carousel of these guys turning over. But that was an accomplishment last year of wild proportions. They had 2 new offensive linemen that broke in, a new center that broke in. They had 4 rotating running backs. They had rookie wide receivers, a rookie quarterback. To be in the playoffs with that was truly amazing.
Baldy, final one for you. Von Miller earlier this week said he doesn't see himself coming back to the Broncos this year. Where do you think he lands? I know you're close with Von. You're close with this situation. Where's a good spot for him to go?
Baltimore. Baltimore's a great spot for him. Chuck Smith's the pass rush specialist coach there. They've taken Kyle Van Noy off the street. He's gotten 20 sacks for him the last 2 years. I feel like all they do is invest in their trenches, in their offensive and defensive lines. I don't know that David Ajabo is ever going to be a great player. I think Vaughn could go in there and give them 20 pass rushes a game, and maybe that's the difference in a playoff game of getting over the top and beating Buffalo or Kansas City or Denver or whoever. Like, I feel like I'll see him at the SAC Summit in Las Vegas towards the end of June. He might be signed by then. I know he's working hard right now, but I feel like that's a good landing spot for Vaughn.
I hadn't thought of that. And Baldy, when you said it, I'm like, that makes all the
Perfect.
sense in the world. It is perfect. And that's why we have you on. You give us the perfect answers. It's been awesome to catch up with you, Baldy. Have a great weekend.
Yep.
And looking forward to talking to you next week already.
Thanks, guys. Do the same. Talk to you soon.